This is like the fourth fucking test run video because every time I try to make this video, it stops like 2 seconds in, says my phone's full of storage, but no matter what I delete, I'm literally spam deleting everything. I have no photos or videos, delete them all. Um, there's a bunch of like random messages, but it will not let me select all. Like I have to each one select one. I'm not doing that shit, man. I did it for like 10 minutes and I'm not doing it anymore. I deleted huge apps that I had that I don't use anymore. So if this shit's out, which probably is going to, and I don't even know if I can do this, man. But anyway, what this video is going to be is a review on the 28 series. I don't know really what to call that because each one has like a different 28 days, 28 weeks, 28 years. I had just recently binge watched all three of those to prepare for 28 years later Bone Temple. I think that's what it's called. So me and my friend wanted to watch that in theaters, but I don't really like starting something that I don't know anything about its predecessor. I think that's the right word. I don't know. I'm trying to use cool words. The movies before that. So in my free time, I binge watched all three of those, and now I'm going to review them. So starting out with 28 Days Later with Cillian Murphy. I love Cillian Murphy. Peaky Blinders, Oppenheimer, all of that. Man, he's great. So I was looking forward to watching this one, but considering how old it was, I was a little bit nervous on that because old movies are good, but as far as we've come, it kind of makes it hard to watch those sometimes because you're like, man, this is like it's slow, or like the CGI, just different things are just kind of whack. But it's crazy to see how far we've come with movies and shows. So I did watch this a few days ago, so my memory might be a little bit off on like the names and exactly what happens. But the movie starts out with him waking up in a hospital, and if you didn't know, the movie has a bunch of nudity. Like he immediately shows his you know what, right there on the hospital bed, and he's like really skinny. I don't know if he got that skinny for the movie or if that's just how he was back then, but wakes up on the hospital bed, has a little cut on his head, kind of like The Walking Dead, Rick Grimes. He does not know what's going on, and it takes place in the UK or something like that. I'm not really sure. And he immediately goes to this church, like that's what it was, and he sees all these crazy, the infected. They chase him, and I didn't know what to expect from the infected because I thought maybe, I didn't know. There's all kinds of different infected. You have the Last of Us infected, clickers, bloaters. They're pretty quick and they're really strong. And then you have the Walking Dead, very slow. Like you could walk faster than those things. But the ones in the 28 series are very fast and very deadly. But they're kind of funny because they like throw up their blood, and if you get their blood in your eyes or in your mouth, you immediately become infected, and it takes like 10 to 20 seconds for you to become one of them. So what sucks is if a loved one gets bit right in front of you or blood on them, you have to instantly kill them because they will turn and rip your face off. And I didn't know that this movie would be a super gory movie or whatever, but it really is. So if you don't like that, you might not want to watch this movie. But goes uh, down the street or whatever on the bridge, and then they just like chase him, and then he runs into this group of people. I I can't remember their names. The girl, don't remember their names to be exact. I know his name's Jim, but they find a group and they talk about how they basically tell him what's happening. They eat a bunch of shit, literally shit food, but that's all they have. And then they go on. The two people in the group dies, but the girl that he's with stays alive, and then they run into another group later on. A guy and his daughter in a hotel room, I think, and they've been living in there for a while, and they want to get out. So finally, like the daughter, like talks them into getting out of there, and slowly but surely, Jim and the girl, sorry, I can't remember her name, or falling in love throughout the thing, which I thought was kind of quick. But like I said, old movie, whatever. And then they travel and they want to go to the checkpoint thing where the military is, because obviously, just like The Walking Dead, they think that's where everything's gonna be. They think it's gonna be safe. They get there, it's all ran down. Then they find a group of military people, but it's only a few, like a handful. So they welcome them into their thing. They're eating dinner with them. They're meeting the people, and they turn out to be like some bad. They're not very good. Technically, what happens is they say they haven't had women for a while, so you can probably guess where that goes. So Jim, they like attack Jim, and then they take him away and leave the girls there so they can have their way with them or whatever. And Jim turns into Rambo or whatever you want to call it and makes his way back, guns blazing, taking care of them. And they all die. And then Jim and the two girls, they get away and they they live happily ever after and start like a little family vibe or whatever. So 28 days later, I did somewhat enjoy it. Because it's old, it's kind of boring to watch. Cillian Murphy did good. The other actors did good. It kind of felt like it had no point, if you know what I mean. Like it felt like it was building up to something and then it just died. I don't know how to explain it. Like it didn't. It felt pointless, kind of. The story did. But if you just like action and gore and zombies and stuff, then yeah, it's a cool film. I would give it probably like a 6 out of 10. 10 being the best, one the worst. Just above mid, considering how old it is. If I'm being truthfully honest, like would I watch it again? No. Is it bad? No. Good? No. Maybe back then people probably really enjoyed it. Maybe they hadn't seen something like that yet. But with all the stuff now, I'll give it a 6 out of 10. Not bad.